What's good, YouTube? It's Pokemaster88 bringing you Season 3 of IDL, and I am coaching your California Trillagers, and we are in the Survivor Division. I've never played in the official season of IDL before. We played in the IDL offseason. We literally got destroyed and lost every single game, but this is a very exciting season because this is the first league I've competed in, I think, 2 months. It's been about 2 months. Because just your boy's been pretty busy with work, but I have a little extra free time where I can start uploading more content and competing a lot more. Probably a couple leagues at a time, not how I was doing it, like 5-6 deep. But I'm very excited for IDL. Let's just hop right into our draft rules. The draft rules for this season are very interesting. First off, we have no Terra this season. Very cool. This is the first league I played in with no Terra. Draft is done in a snake format, 1 through 16, 16 back to 1. Each coach will have 150 points to draft 9 to 11 Pokemon. Last but not least, always say good game, GG, after a Pokemon battle, win or lose. At the end of the day, we are playing this game for fun, so always be a good sport. So with the rules out of the way, let's hop right into the draft order. So taking a look at the draft order, your boy Pokemaster88 has gotten first pick out of a 10-man draft. Pretty solid. Usually I'm somewhere in the middle to the end. But I don't know. This is my second first round pick, so we've been getting lucky these last couple these leagues we've been competing in. But we are number 1, followed by Nico Ryan. 3 is Spoopy. This is a lot of new faces here. Stegosaurus Rex, Jarl, Zachmander, Quincy, Mr. Mag, Godbear, Brandon. I've never played a lot of these guys. Brandon and Zachmander, yeah, they're familiar faces on the Trailblazers channel. But other than that, man, I'm excited. This is a very fast and quick-paced league. It's no Terra. It's just strictly battling here, so the prep's gonna be pretty straightforward for the most part. You don't have to count for Terras and stuff like that. But I'm very excited. So let's just hop right into our first Pokemon and why. For my very first pick, it is no surprise. We have our very own mascot, Meowscarada, the captain of the Trailblazers organization, and I am very, very happy to have her. You give me the number 1 pick, I'm gonna have my Meowscarada. Meowscarada has a 123 speed, 110 attack, very versatile. Pivot, spikes, we got utility moves like knockoff, a signature move that crits, and flower trick. So yeah, just a great ability in Protean. So a really solid Pokemon overall. Very excited to have. And with that being said, we are moving on to our next Pokemon. We have none other than Tinkaton. This is a Trailblazer staple. Tinkaton round 2 may be crazy to some, but this is literally my favorite fairy and steel type, so we had to have our baby girl Tinkaton. Tinkaton is the queen of utility. We get moves like Encore, Thunder Wave, Knockoff, Stealth Rocks, extremely solid. 160 base kick into Hammer. Her attack stat isn't the strongest, but with 160 base kick into Hammer, we will have no issues in destroying anything that's in front of us. Mold Breaker, Pickpocket, very solid abilities. It gets another ability, but we probably won't be running it too often. But overall, very, very happy to have Tinkaton back on our Trailblazers team. But we are moving on to our third round pick, Latios. Latios has been on the Trailblazers a million times. This is one of my favorite dragon types. When it comes to Latios and Latios is definitely my favorite. We are 130 special attack, 110 speed. This is going to be breaking walls. It does get some cool physical moves that we could probably take advantage of. We're immune to all ground attacks thanks to Levitate. And this Pokemon complements Tink very, very well because of the dragon and psychic typing. So that is Latios, our round 3 pick. But we are moving on. For my next pick, my 4th pick, we have my favorite Pokemon, my first Pokemon, Blastoise. I grew up in the 90s, so this Pokemon is by far my favorite Pokemon of all time, since it's being my first. Bulky Water, Rapid Spin. Not much to say here. It does get Shell Smash, but you know, this thing can do a little bit of everything from offense to being a sponge on the physical and special side. Very, very solid mon. You know, so I'm very, very happy to have Blastoise back on the Trailblazers team once again. But we are moving on. Making their Trailblazers debut, we have Moltres, our fire and flying type, weak to electric, just like our Blastoise, but not the end of the world. I've always loved Moltres. I want to use it, spreading burn to flame body, immune to all ground attacks because of the flying typing, 125 special attack. This Pokemon is going to be breaking walls. This mon can also be run very, very solid defensive sets with like Roost, U-turn. You know, you can have Flamethrower, Air Slash to kind of round out the moveset. But overall, very solid Pokemon. You know, I've had Zapdos in previous leagues, so now we have Moltres. Eventually, I want to get Articuno. But this is our Moltres, and I am very, very happy for this to be our 5th round pick. We are moving on to another Trailblazer staple, Toxtricity. I've had this mon at least 5 times at this point. This is our 6th round pick. Another special Raw Breaker. This thing can run physical because it does get shift gear, so that's something we could probably pull off in one of these games. I think the electric and poison is very, very sound, powerful dual stab. This is our grounded poison, so we are pretty solid when dealing with the toxic spikes. But 114, it's pretty hard, I must say. Not the fastest, but you pair that with shift gear, we are looking pretty strong. 98 attack isn't the greatest, but it's very, very usable. But very, very happy to have Toxtricity here once again. And we are going to our next Pokemon. And this is another Trailblazers Classic. I've had Heracross at least 3 times. This Pokemon is a wall breaker. Originally, he wasn't really planned, but I did need a fighting type, so I did go with Heracross because I've had a lot of success with it back in other leagues. So this thing can function as a status sponge because we got Guts, Swords Dance plus Trailblaze, an amazing combination with our dual stab. For a 7th round pick, Heracross is a steal. 85 speed is pretty average, but it's right there in the middle. I think it's really solid for speed because most Pokemon are not faster than 85 speed, you know, so it's gonna be a very, very tough mon to deal with, especially if I'm able to get in for free. But this is our Heracross, and we are moving on to our next Pokemon. I'm gonna keep saying this. This is another Trailblazer staple. Here we have Frostlass, 110 speed. This is a mixed attacker with 80 on both sides. The Spectrum, 8th round pick, spin blocker, immune to all normal attacks because she's ghost type. Utility for days, Thunder Wave, spikes, Destiny Bond, things like that. I mainly drafted this for the speed, and it's a ghost type that I absolutely adore. So Frostlass, welcome back to your Trailblazers team, and we are moving on to our 9th round pick. We have Ursaluna. This is a Trailblazers debut. We have Ursaluna, 140 attack, another status sponge. We have a lot of wall breakers. My biggest concern here, maybe we don't have enough bulk to round out our offensive guys. But this thing does have 105 defense, not the greatest. But hey, you know, this thing could most likely have a hit with 130 HP, so we're betting it all on Ursaluna this season. Overall, I'm very happy to use this Pokemon, and we are moving on to our next round pick. We have our 10th round pick, Corviknight. I usually don't draft Corviknight. It's probably the first time I've had it. You know, it's good at pivoting and gets defog. Because we have Blastoise. I didn't want Blastoise glued into a defog role the whole season. But Corviknight does give us some more bulk. Another steel type. I don't know how often I'm going to bring this thing. I didn't have a plan when I drafted Corviknight. But Pressure, Mirror Armor, very, very good abilities. But yeah, man. we'll see what we get out of Corviknight, and yeah, moving on to our 11th, and I think this is our last Pokemon. We have Leavanny. This thing is here just for webs because I don't have a base 100, so my team isn't the fastest, but not the slowest. I think my speed tiers are a little bit wonky this season, but here we are with Leavanny. I don't know how often this thing's gonna come because we have a grass type, two bug types with Heracross. So yeah, I'm not sure how often and how valuable this thing is gonna be. I should make some changes to this team, but it's too early in the season. If I start losing games or something like that, we'll just drop Leavanny and probably get something a little better. But yeah, as of right now, we have Leavanny here for our 11th round pick. And with that being said, let's move on to the squad. And we got our team. Let me know what y'all think. I think I did okay. There's a lot of stuff on this team I probably don't need, like a Corviknight and Leavanny, but I just filled this team with my favorites because I haven't played draft in quite some time, so there's not a lot of new stuff here except for the Moltres and Ursaluna. But Meow all the way down to about, Toxtricity, the Haircuts. For these are things I've drafted before, like, so this is just a love letter to just my draft experience for Scarlet and Violet. But tell me what you think about this team. And with that being said, wish your California Trailblazers the best of luck this season. Um, we're back from our draft break, so hopefully we can get some wins and start getting back into the rhythm of winning. But with that being said, Pokemaster is out.